Hello everyone, this is the Right-Wing Genius coming to you today from Arlington, Texas, where right now it is a balmy 100 degrees outside, in the shade. You see right now my home state is going through its usual summer heat wave, but what makes this heat wave different from those we've experienced in years past is that it happens to coincide with an especially harsh drought. In fact, never before, at least not in living memory, has this part of the state suffered both a heat wave of this magnitude and a drought this harsh simultaneously. To give you an idea of just how bad it is, I want to show you some things. But first, I should explain. The U.S. Drought Monitor, which apparently is an actual thing, classifies drought conditions on a 5-tiered scale, depending on the intensity. There's abnormally dry, then moderate, then severe, extreme, and the worst level, exceptional. This map shows what drought conditions were across the state 4 months ago, back in April. Take a look. As you can see, the worst of the drought, the part of the state experiencing exceptional drought, was confined to a swath of land in southeast Texas. And my hometown of Arlington was going through a moderate drought. This is what things look like in May. As you can see, by May, the very worst of the drought was now affecting parts of the Panhandle, West Texas, the Hill Country, the Southern Plains, and of course Southeast Texas. Then came June. As that map shows, by late June, more than 70% of the state was experiencing exceptional drought. Strangely enough, though, much of the Dallas-Fort Worth area was experiencing no drought at all. So, what are things like now? Well, on Thursday, the U.S. Drought Monitor released their latest round of data. Yep, it is pretty bad. 75% of the state, roughly, is experiencing exceptional drought, and my hometown of Arlington is right on the border between severe and extreme drought. To give you an idea, or to put this thing in perspective, here's a map showing drought conditions throughout the U.S. as a whole. Yeah, we're definitely bearing the brunt of Mother Nature's wrath, along with Oklahoma and New Mexico. Strangely enough, not only is most of the country not experiencing any drought at all, but some parts are seeing natural disasters of the opposite kind. Earlier this week, Charlotte, North Carolina's most populous city, was devastated by a flood. Lucky bastards. But as for Texas, this drought, which I'm told is the second worst in Texas history, is only one of the natural hardships we're going through right now. Before I get to this heat wave, I could do with a cold drink and a change of scenery. That's better. Now, as for this heat, this is the 37th day in a row that the temperature has cracked 100 degrees here in DFW. The 44th day overall so far this summer. This has been an especially hot summer, even for North Texas. Just last week, for example, temperature hit 110 degrees at DFW Airport, which is where the official temp for this area is recorded. That was the hottest day the area had experienced in nearly 11 years. I say nearly 11 years because the last time it hit 110 at DFW Airport was Labor Day weekend of 2000. That's right. In Texas, at least in this part of Texas, it is not unusual for the temperature to break 100 degrees in September. Now, this has left a lot of people wondering if we will break any of the records set back in 1980, which is still the hottest summer on record for this area, and a lot of the country. I think the country as a whole. Anyway, that year we experienced a 42-day streak of consecutive triple-digit temperatures, and a total of 69 days where the temperature hit 100 degrees. I do think we will break the record for most consecutive 100-degree plus days, because we're less than a week shy of that record now, and there doesn't seem to be any relief in sight. In fact, according to this article I picked up, the Climate Prediction Center said on Thursday that La Nina, that climate phenomenon marked by a cooling of Pacific Ocean waters in the tropical regions, may once again rear her ugly head. And that means that Texas is unlikely to see any relief from this drought until 2012. It's just awful. But it gave me an idea. See, while I was in the hospital recovering from surgery, that's a lie, I wasn't in the hospital. It was minor surgery and I came back home. But I did have an idea for something to do during this especially hot, dry summer in Texas. I call it the Hot and Dry Tour. It won't actually be a tour. It'll be a series of videos featuring hot chicks and dry wit. I can supply one of those. The other may take some effort to conjure up. But it's just an idea. I'll let you all know if I decide to pursue it. Anywho, you may wonder why I chose to do a video about the heat wave and drought currently ravaging Texas. It's not really a political subject, and it doesn't lend itself to satire, so why bother? Well, one reason is that it's so freaking hot around here. Though, one good thing about the drought is that it's not as humid as it normally is in the summertime, which makes the heat slightly more bearable. But other reason is that it gave me an idea for the Hot and Dry Tour, and I wanted to do a video to... This heat is taking a toll on my brain. I don't know why we decided to do this video outside. Let's switch it indoors. Okay, well, that's about all of it. Be sure to check out my website, check out my blog. My latest installment is called 5 Left-Wing Myths About the Economy. Sadly, one of the myths on the list is actually being propagated by some on the right as well. You'll find out which one if you read the article. Until next time, don't mess with the right-wing genius.